Yo, what's up everybody? Jessica here coming at you from Deborah. So I wanted to go ahead and dive into Zeropark. They are pretty dope when it comes to push traffic. We are testing some campaigns with their platform right now. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to do it. Let's get started. So as you can see, I'm doing this thing now where I have myself in front of the platform that we're going to be working in. It's just easier for editing for me. So I don't have to go cutting back and forth between two different cameras. So I am going to now, you'll just get familiar with this. I'm going to downside myself, put myself somewhere in the corner so you guys can see the screen, and let's get started. So what I like about Zeropark is that they have a it's a custom platform. You can advertise multiple ad formats, and it's a very fast campaign setup, to be honest with you, and they have artificial intelligence that optimizes your campaigns for you with automated rules and all this other targeting shindig that you can get involved in. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So we are going to run push traffic for multiple geos. So we are exploring the options of where you can test, where you can optimize, and where you can scale, because it's a little different than social PPC, and we're just trying to get a wrap on it. Usually we just run campaigns to make money, but right now we're actually like, okay, let's go ahead and make a process to this so that we can teach you guys. So you obviously can see there's 4 billion clicks monthly available. So obviously we can scale with their platform because they have the volume to support it. And then we can always check their traffic volume tool. So if we wanted to do pop under, it's a little bit, it's just under at 3 billion. And then if we wanted to do domain, then you're going to get 1 billion per month. So you would only be able to bid by CPC, which is totally cool with us, because then you're only paying for the link clicks, and then you can get more viable data with a particular zone if you accumulate a certain amount of link clicks. And then obviously you know how much you're going to be paying, so you can kind of go for, okay, this is the traffic that I need if I'm going to pay this amount of money to get this amount of clicks. So that's why I personally like CPC, because the mathematic formula is a lot easier. So here are going to be the verticals. We got dating, we got downloads, we got app downloads, we got shopping and travel, obviously sweepstakes because we're running traffic with them. And we'll go into their documents if we are curious about any of their other terms and conditions regarding their verticals. So why we like Zeropark, or why you probably will like them too once you start running traffic: anti-fraud solutions, fast campaign approvals, which is very important to making sure that you can get your campaigns up and running so you can run, because day parting is important with push traffic, so you're going to want to make sure that your notifications are being sent out at the right time. If you're waiting for something to get approved, or if you don't have the right communication about those approvals, and that will hold you up. And the reason why I am ranting about this is because AdMaven pissed me off. And I was like, fuck, why didn't y'all just email me? And then you have very good targeting options. So I would say compared to the others, it's pretty similar. But I mean, you can still get down with what they have. You can test multiple creators, and it's a simple setup. So I just wanted to go through all of that. So now I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So as you can see, we have run out of budget for our daily budget, and we have paused this one. Don't know what's going on with it. So let's go over the dashboard, and then I will break down what certain things mean as we walk through Zeropark. So if you are not already familiar, Zeropark is partnered with Volume because they are ran by the same company, code-wise. So they pretty much have Volume integrated directly into their platform and vice versa. So very easy for tracking setup whenever you are looking at your data. So I like Zeropark because you can kind of review your bid right here, and you can instantly adjust it. You can review your payout, your conversions, how much you've spent so far, if there's been any redirects, the geo you're targeting, and then the type of campaign you're running. So instead of relying on your title, they pretty much break it all down for you here at a snapshot, which I think is convenient. And then if we were running any data, then you would obviously be able to see something right there. So let me just go back the last week, because you can see what we've been doing. So here you go. You can see your spend, your payout, and your conversions. You can keep track of all of that right here. And then as far as the actual campaign builds go, you can look at specific, so all of ours are push campaigns, right? So you would go to that tab, and then we will go to new campaign to set a new campaign up. So this is where we select the traffic type. So the difference, and I'll break it down in another video, because there's a way to test and there's a way to scale with every network, and there's a way to optimize with every network. So with Zeropark, you want to run push traffic type, run on the network. So run on the network is where you would usually start whenever you're testing. And this pretty much means you buy all the traffic from your chosen country at the price that you set. Now, once you have run on the network and you have blacklisted, which means you've located some zones that are not performing too well after you have gathered significant data, or if you decide that you want to whitelist, which we'll talk about because we aren't fans of whitelisting, but there are situations where they are appropriate. So if you wanted to either, you would gather that information from your one of the network campaign, and then you would take that to either a target or a source campaign, where you can create a whitelist campaign, or you can create a blacklist campaign, or you can do it, by targeting. And the reason why you have to do it in those two is because you have to add the additional step in the campaign settings. You can't do that on RON. So you kind of have to go in with your objective. So we usually always start with RON. We will usually always have an RON campaign running, even if we do decide to scale, and I'll explain why later. So again, here you would do your campaign name. I'm pretty sure if they do introduce CPM, it will be there. And then you can select by country. And right here, if you want to go by region, you can. But you have to remember that if you go by country or region, you can't change this once you start your campaign. You'll just have to create a totally separate campaign. So I would like to choose a country so we can look at targeting. And pricing. So let's say if I want to do a region, then you can do this. So this will probably come in handy for grocery store targeting. If you don't want to limit your volume, though, you obviously would not use this. And then here's cities, if you would like to target particular cities. So I thought that was very useful. And then here's language. So a good example that Zeropark gave us with targeting languages is something like the United States, where if you want to go for someone who speaks English, or if you want to go for someone who speaks Spanish, language targeting would be good for a particular geo. And so after you choose your geo, as you can see, you'll get your suggested bid. So here is where it would be for the chosen geo, and as you can see, they recommend that you go in at 8 cents. Then you can do your daily budget, where you can set it up per day. Pro tip, don't do 20, even though you can do 20. We don't recommend it, but I mean, you can try. And then your campaign budget's pretty much saying if you have a total of 2,000 and you want to stop whenever you run out of 2,000, then you can set that there. So your sources daily budget is pretty much meaning that if there is a certain dollar amount that you want to limit your sources to, then you would set that. However, pro tip from Zeropark, because they did help us out with some training, is you probably would be better off using their automation, rule-based optimization feature. So that means that you can pretty much monitor the spend on your sources automatically without you having to manually optimize your campaign. And we'll talk about some rule-based optimization features a little later, because we ran the campaign. It cost too much money, and it was a suggestion that we go ahead and try it out. So we will I will do a separate video explaining how to optimize with rule-based optimization. And then here you have your traffic filters. So you can do desktop and mobile, desktop or mobile. We always recommend doing one or the other. With our affiliate network, Big Bank Ads, for most of the sweepstakes offers, only mobile is usually the route that we take, and that's usually what is recommended. Desktop and mobile, I would probably say maybe suitable for a different vertical, which we have not explored. So maybe like dating or adult, because people are always looking for love, So as far as being able to narrow down your volume based on browser targeting operating system, you can do that. Usually you probably, if you're going by operating system, keep it to the latest, because usually everyone has gotten an upgrade and you won't cut down your volume too much if you keep the latest versions. Same goes for Mac and all of that stuff. And then likewise, you can do the same for mobile. So if we come in here, we can limit the versions, because usually I don't see any conversions after model 5 or 6. You can also target Android tablets, and then you can also choose your network source. So the difference with frequency filters is you cannot say how many times you want your ad to be shown, but you can say by how many times, so, or how frequently you want your ad to be shown. And then here you have filtering for the traffic sources that you want. And then here you have your day party, and you would set it up. Let's see. So we're running in the account, I think Amsterdam, but we would change it to whatever time zone we're running the campaign in, and then we would limit the times. We usually always cut it off around 11 o'clock to like 5 in the morning. We usually don't run ads. I've seen occasions where evening times is pretty much a bust, and I get all my conversions early in the morning around 8 to 10. So, you know, you kind of want to keep an eye on your geo and the activity per geo, because it's not the same for every geo. And then here you would finally create your creative. So you can test up to 10. You would only have to upload one size, which is 192 by 192. So it's like that little icon size, and I'll show you an example in a second. And then if you ever delete an icon, that's fine. You can just always have up to 10 active, or you can have less than 10, totally up to you. But you can always cycle them out, which is a recommendation. So we did go through training with Zeropark, and I gave us a few pro tips. So one pro tip is, matter of fact, I'll give you all the pro tips when we look at push notifications. So then here's where you would put your destination URL. So if you're using any tracking, then you would get that from your tracker. If you need any guidelines, then you would be able to go here to get some assistance, and you have instant access to their documentation. I believe that is very useful. So if you run into any questions about what you should be able, what's approved and what's not approved, you can come right here instantly. You don't have to hit us up on the forum, and you shouldn't be asking us on Facebook, because all the shit's right here. What do you know? Alright, so then you have this right here is not for you, it's for the network. So there are some networks or some traffic exchanges that'll bother you and be like, hey, can I see your lander? And you're like, why do you need to see my lander? Well, they want to check what you got. So if you have a particular lander for a particular geo, they just want you to tell them what it is. So ours will probably always be survey and sweeps, because that's usually what we're doing. And then if we're using a pre-lander, yes or no, and then we submit it. So I think that kind of kicks into gear their expeditious campaign approval process. Because think about it, if people are always checking landers or checking to see where your links are going to, then yeah, that's a little time consuming. So if we go back to the dashboard, I will briefly show you I'll show you a campaign that we ran, so you can look at how we set up the creatives. So I did a video on pack and save, so let's go ahead and look at pack and save. So we tried to scale to Zeropark, and it did not fare out too well, and I will go into an explainer video about that. But let's just show you the creatives for now, and then I will go in and edit the campaign. So as you can see, we just use a simple icon and a simple headline, and then a simple description. Really not too difficult. Let me see if I can get into edit so we can look at how we added it to the campaign real quick. Will it let me edit? It will let me edit. So as you can tell, we always title what kind of campaign we're running. We do all that anyway, even though it's on the dashboard. And you can see how we went in at 12 cents cost per click. We set our daily budget at $30, and we wanted to test this for 3 days. So obviously they told us that we won't win a lot of clicks, and that means that this is a bidding model, so you want to put in the highest bid, obviously. And then let's go down to what we came here for. So when we uploaded our images, which I like because with Zeropark you have to do an icon and an image creative, right? Well, with Zeropark you only focus on the icon. So your icon has to capture attention, and then you want to keep that simple though. So how do you capture someone's attention with something simple as hell? Well, you kind of mimic the notifications coming through someone's mobile device. That's how. And then they recommended that you get really creative with your captions, and get creative with your descriptions. You play around with emoji, play around with all caps, play around with certain terms. Just get fancy with your ad copy and keep it simple with your icons. That's what we were told, so that's what we're testing. They run thousands of campaigns with clients, so generally when our affiliate managers tell us to do something, we usually do it. So listen to me, because I get all my information from them. All right, so yeah, and as you can see, right, like I said, this one we use the lander, so we'll probably, I'll break that down in the premium section of the AFK forum. If you're not already in the premium section of the AFK forum, we dive into all of the campaigns that we have built. I reveal the entire flow, the logic behind it, how much we spent, how much we made, everything. If you ever run into any problems, we probably have already experienced it. So you should definitely check out our premium section when you get a chance. But for now, this is how you would run through Zeropark. So if I'm not mistaken, you have to do a deposit of $200. But guess what? I don't know. So we are going to look at the finance terms really quick. Okay, so theirs is like volume. You got to type, but don't hit enter. Duh, they're ran by the same people. All right, so payment terms. Okay, this is to the publishers. I want to know how to get started topping up. All right, let's see how much we need to top up. 300, 500, or 1,000. So the minimum is 200. All right, bet that's what we need. So you need $200 to get started. You can use PayPal, but you'll get a surcharge. You can use web money. Credit card is probably easiest, but it's limited to a $300 top up when you do that first. Or you can do Paxton, but there's a charge for that. But it looks pretty self-explanatory. And then here they'll lay out all of your PayPal fees. So shit, I might not be using PayPal because I already get hella fees from them as it is already, and I can't stand that. Alright, so that takes care of getting started with Zeropark. So come in with $200, sign up, top up your account, get you some icons, pick out an offer, run you some traffic. Now we'll go over geos because we like to focus in Europe, but Zeropark has been the only traffic source to tell us to play around with the US. And you guys know we don't play with the US because of shaving. So we will probably explore that a little later next month. So make sure you stay tuned for any United States campaigns. We think that'll be pretty interesting. And I think that's it for today. So in the next video, I will go ahead and do a watch me build with an affiliate network, show you how I would put the copy together, walk you through some spy tools, get you an idea of how to put an entire campaign together. And we'll probably do a follow along, and I'll show you how to scale it, optimize it, and all of that good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. I hope you got a good overview of the dashboard for Zeropark. And you can always find me in the forum. My screen name is Momentum. So if you can't hit me up there, or if you don't feel like going in the forum because you're shy, then you can go ahead and ask me any questions in the description down below. Shoot me a message if you want to shoot me a message in the forum. If you're shy, I will be more than happy to answer your questions. I live there all day. That's where you can find me. So I will see you guys in the next video. I kind of ranted a little bit on this one, but bye.
Allow me to introduce the Dice University Forum. Whether you are trying to make your first conversion on ClickBank or scale your campaigns to 6 figures, the Dice University Forum offers you exactly what you need, like high-quality landing page templates, detailed case studies, and exclusive discounts. The forum has no outdated information. All resources inside are from campaigns that are running right now. Do you want to learn from super affiliates? Check the link in the description and sign up today.